It's Friday again. This is a Volt exclusive. These are my complaint videos, of course. And I've got a list right here in my hands of things that people have complained about or commented on and got my attention in the last week. And just for entertainment's sake, I'm going to turn the piece of paper around like this. I'm not sure which is on what side, and there is no order to this. So I will simply do these at random. And first tell you about... I often talk with my hands. My hands are often on screen. At the end of the videos, I often say questions or comments, put them below. I've had people claim that that indicates a sign you might make with your hands preceding the phrase, bite me, or something to that effect. But I purposely now just go, put them below, and I point like this because I got sick of that comment. I actually had somebody on a recent video make a big post about this guy, referring to me, is a white supremacist. And you know because he keeps flashing white supremacist hand signals. And his whole explanation of what the hand signals meant and how it is that I'm a white supremacist and I'm sending signals to my audience of white supremacists. And the only thing I can think of is that in the video I mentioned the numbers 3 and 4. And I went 3 and 4. Now, anybody who's played baseball knows that you often go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not white supremacy. Those are numbers. And so one little thing many people have not caught yet is that on my main channel, at the end of the videos, there's a screen with credits. And it used to simply say, remember Milo and Wolfie. And then the next one would say, beware of low-flying owls. Occasionally, I'll replace the beware of low-flying owls with something else. And I actually, the next day, replaced it with my fingers being held up to indicate numbers are not white supremacist signals. So there you go. But one guy was convinced that I am a white supremacist and I'm speaking secretly to my audience through my hand signals. I don't know why people think this is funny or entertaining, but it happens every few months. Someone will send me a screen grab where they're watching my video and they hit pause. See, I paused it for you. And when they hit pause, my face is frozen and my hand is frozen. And sometimes, if you pause someone while they're talking, they have a funny look on their face. And a guy sent me one yesterday and said, Steve, check out the funny screen grab. And I wasn't sure what video it was from or it was even me, so I looked at it. It was me. Does he not realize that if you screen grab anybody at random, there's a good chance of a funny look on their face? I just mentioned it because I got one yesterday, and I don't know why people feel obliged to send those to me. Don't. Stop. They're annoying. I had someone mention this morning that I'd posted a video in 60 frames per second. And they go, this is so cool. 60 frames per second. Congratulations. Now, I don't know what the deal is here because I've been shooting my videos at 60 FPS since I started making videos 8 years ago. And I get the impression that some people, when they log on to YouTube, it's not being downloaded or viewed at the highest resolution simply because of their connection. So when they get a good connection and they see the high resolution or the high def videos, they go, oh, it's high def. All my videos are the same with respect to how that camera is set up. And I'm pointing at a camera. I'm not flashing a white supremacist hand signal. That camera has settings. I have not touched them in 2 years, 3 years. The camera I had before that shot at 60 frames per second. I set them one time and left them. That camera replaced the previous camera, which was set at 60 frames per second. And the first time it happened a couple weeks ago, I made a comment and said, they're all shot at 60 FPS. Got another one today. Oh my gosh, you shot one at 60 FPS. Good for you. I guess. Done a couple thousand that way. I mentioned how many downloads one of my videos had. Somebody goes, you mean views? You meant views, right? Did you not understand what I was talking about? You have your phone in your hand and you hit play and it's somehow ending up on your phone to view it. And I know you're going to say, but Steve, download, more people think of that as being I download it to my computer, so it's on my computer. You do understand, though, that to get it onto your phone from the internet, it's downloading something. And if you're watching a video that's being downloaded, I think that's a download. Now, again, I know some people say, Steve, here you're splitting hairs, and technically speaking, you were wrong. I don't think I was, number one. And number two, did you not understand what I meant when I said the video had 200,000 downloads? You meant it had 200,000 views. Well, that's a hill you want to die on, I guess. I occasionally talk about the phone companies. And I've mentioned before that the FCC keeps threatening to crack down on the phone companies about robocalls and spam texts. Every single time that I mention this, I get one or two people who email me and say, and this is the most recent one, there is nothing the phone company can do about spam texts or robocalls. Nothing. Because it's now on the internet. And so once you get onto the internet, you can make as many phone calls as you want, as many texts as you want, and the phone companies are powerless to stop it or control it. And the most recent guy actually said, Steve, I'm sick and tired of you making these baseless claims about the phone company. This time, I demand that you prove it. So I blocked him. And by that, I mean, I blocked him in my email. He had sent me an email, and I sent his email to the garbage. And so I didn't respond to him. But the weird part is, I've gotten emails from guys at phone companies. And I actually got an extensive email yesterday from a guy who says, Steve, I work at one of the phone companies that's trying to abide by all the federal regulations. It's a pain in the butt, but we can do it. And I wanted to say, hey, can you talk to this other guy who says it's impossible and is demanding that I prove it? I did the story about the toll roads in Chicago, comparing them to the toll roads in New York. And I said that pulling up to the booth in Indiana to pay $1.50 after waiting in line for 20 minutes felt like, and that's the word I use, I said it felt like they were punishing me for having a car. And I had a guy go, Steve, they're not actually punishing you for having a car. They're charging you a toll. And if you wanted to, you could have gotten an easy pass and gone through. So if anything, they're punishing you for not having an easy pass. I said, yeah, but I said it feels like. And he goes, what's the difference? It feels like I'm being punished. I never said I was actually being punished. Then I had two people respond to last week's complaint video. And in last week's complaint video, I pointed out that one person had complained about something. And I had two different people say, hey, Steve, I caught the video you did about me. And they both thought the video was about them. Now, I almost titled this video Ain't About You. But the funny part was that both of those emails I saw in my garbage. So if I block somebody's email in my email system, it still goes into the garbage. So once a day, I go in and empty the garbage, and it's chock full of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails, most of them spam. But I recognize some in there where it's people who got blocked by me a long, long time ago, and they just keep writing to me unaware of the fact I'm not even seeing the emails anymore. But as I read through, I can see who sent it, and the first portion of the subject line. Two different people said, Steve, you did that video and you talked about me. Obviously, they can't both be right, and chances are both of them are wrong. Because I've also had people tell me that I did a video about them on something else, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I sent you an email, and I'm like, I never saw that email. What are you I'm sorry, but I never saw the email. But in this case, two different people said you were talking about me when you said that viewer said this. And like I said, both of them were in the garbage. I don't really know what else they said because I didn't bother reading it. I try not to read my garbage. I try to glance at it, make sure there's nothing important in there, and dump it. Once in a great while, my spam filters, because they are rather aggressive, will take like an email someone sends me requesting a book. They want to buy a book from me, and it goes into the spam. So then I have to say, oh, book purchase, and I'll glance, and they want to buy a book, I'll yank it out of the spam. But that happens, but two different people complained about me doing a video about them personally, despite the fact I couldn't have done it about both of them when I mentioned it was a viewer. And then finally, I had somebody post this diatribe underneath the video that's about 3 weeks old. And I don't know if people realize this or not. When I read comments on my channel, they're all aggregated in one spot. So if I want to, I can log on and see all the comments on my channel without jumping from video to video. It'll show me all the comments on the channel, most recently made, for instance, and just I can go through them by time if I want to. I don't always do that, but I can if I want to. And so I was going down and I came across one, and this guy goes, Steve, you're a wuss. The fact that you've blocked me from your channel so I can't comment means you're, and he called me a bunch of names. They're not bad names, but he called me a bunch of names. And he said, just to let you know, I've unsubscribed and I'll never post again. And there his comment was. So I pinned it. Because his comment was there. He wasn't blocked. And in his diatribe, he said, I keep posting here and no one responds to my comments. And dude, that's a reflection on you, not me. Your comment was there. So I responded to it and I said, and yet here you are. And I pinned him. And then he deleted his comment. So I'm going to end by telling you that some people don't realize this. If you ever post a comment on YouTube that you later regret, two things. 1, 2, not a hand signal. You can either A, edit the comment to say something else, or B, you can delete the comment. And I've seen somebody type a comment and misspell a word. Then they comment on their comment and go, oops, I meant such and such. And then they'll misspell another word. They'll say, oh, God bless it all. I meant to say, and there's a whole series of these corrections underneath the video. All you had to do is go into the first comment, edit it, and then it would just simply say edited one time. That's it. And I've had people post remarkably stupid things, which I've pinned, and someone will come by and say, I wish I could take that down. You can. If you posted it, you can take it down. It's not that difficult. So the guy who said, Steve, I can't believe you blocked my comments. You're a wuss. When I hadn't blocked his comments and I commented and I pinned his comment, he then deleted it. So of all the people to figure out you can delete your comments, it would be that guy. So I don't know what to tell you, but those are my complaints for this week. It seems like it's a mild week for complaints. Don't worry. Next week will be better. Questions or comments, put them below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.